Hey everybody, Erica here from In the Company of Cards. Happy Monday. Um, First off, I want to thank everybody for watching and commenting on the video that I did, the Sunday conversation with Sheila Haidt, who is just an amazing astrologer. She explains it so well. We looked at the astrology of the United States. Obviously, our birthday is July 4th. And if you haven't given it a listen, I would really love it if you would, because Sheila is a treasure. So that, and then it's Monday. So on Mondays, I always like to remind you of what my offerings are. So I read Lenormand, however you want to say it. It is a traditionally 36 card deck system, European, from the late 1700s, early 1800s, French-German system. And I use it to divine what's coming in for us. And I also do commentary on what the cards have to say and what the world has to tell us. So that's what I do on this channel. I am the author of The Language of Lenormand or Lenormand, however you want to say it, where I teach you everything you need to know about how to read traditionally. And I also explain to you how I have modernized Lenormand so that it speaks to sort of um, a real world audience, right? But in a really deep clear way. And I teach you how to read that way. If you prefer to read it in French, if you're cool like that, you can get it in French. It's called Découvrez le langage secret du Lenormand. Which means discover the secret language of Lenormand. I believe that all of us have a right to tap into our intuition. I think these beautiful divination systems are given to us so that we can dialogue with our higher selves, with the universe, and also sort of deal better with each other. So those books are wherever books are sold, as they say. Certainly, the English version is available on Kindle, and also you can get the audio version. I'm not the one reading it. Sorry to say, because I know everybody loves my voice, which I think is really weird, but that's okay. But the actress who read my book did a great job. She's a lovely young woman. Also, I should tell you the cards that I use, you see some of the art from my cards on my wall there. My deck is called Erica's Lenormand of Hope. It's only accessible through one publisher, which is called La Panthère, like a panther, La Panthère Studio. You can find information for all of this under each of my videos if you click the button underneath the video. But they are running a sale. It is a Juneteenth sale. If you don't know what Juneteenth is June 19th, and it is the day that the last slaves were informed that they were in fact free. Matter of fact, have been free for some considerable time, and that was in Texas. So we Black people celebrate that as our Freedom Day. If July 4th is the country's Freedom Day, Black people observe Juneteenth as our Freedom Day. And so my publisher, La Panthère, has got a sale going on. She's got some beautiful, beautiful decks there, but mine as well. And it's on sale. So just thought I'd let you know. I also have a self-paced course, a video course that will help you learn Lenormand. And if you click the button, it's there. What I did was I recorded a bunch of videos, and you can learn at your own pace. And as I've been saying for a while now, I'm going to put up a live course, I think, in the fall. And because I know a lot of people would like to have that sort of one-on-one time with me. There'll be a cost attached. It'll be via Zoom. and there'll be breakout rooms, but you will be able to learn from me in real time, ask your questions in real time, and get to know either some of each other, some of the rest of the community who come here. Okay, so that's all the housekeeping out of the way, except to say, uh, if you are not subscribed, if you like what I do, I would love it if you would hit the subscribe button. Sometimes people think they're subscribed, but then they see the button and they're not. So hit the subscribe button if you'd like to be notified of when I do a video. um, just hit the notification bell and make sure that you set the notifications to all, not personalized, but to all. Because if you set it to personalized, the algorithm will decide that they know you better than you know yourself. They will decide what to show you. But if you would like to see everything that I do, hit all. Um, I'm feeling myself because I cut my hair again, and I think it looks pretty good, so I didn't have to cover it up. So I've becoming I'm a professional, at least only insofar as my own personal head goes. So I'm kind of proud of myself about that. All right, what are we looking at today? Again, a bunch of different things. I just want to make very quick mention of the felon's birthday party and that the winner and his comment about Michelle Obama. This is so like played out and lame, and it is an historical insult that tends to be directed at dark-skinned Black women. The emasculization of emasculating whatever of Black women. It's kind of pathetic, kind of, I mean, as I said, lame. um, I know that, years ago, Mrs. Obama said, when they go low, we go high. Mm, I mean, she can go high. I don't necessarily feel called to go high. And especially when you have filth like that from the South Lawn of the White House, being spewed by a wrestler or whatever he is. And then there's Joe Rogan, who can't decide which side he's on. Does he like the felon? Does he not like the felon? Well, apparently he likes the felon. So let's just leave it at that. Because Joe Rogan was holding the microphone up to the guy when he said what he said about the former First Lady. So, we know who these people are. And, you know, they are who they are. Anyway, mm, I want to say that apparently the next fun thing that the felons got planned is what is it he calling it? Oh, that's the Trump rally. This will be on not his birthday, because we already had that. God willing, and the creek don't rise, as my mother would say, we won't have another one, entertainment purposes only. But on our birthday, the 4th of July, the felon has said that we will be having a Trump rally to end all rallies. It will be funded by the birthday girls and boys, which is to say, you and me. So it'll be a tax funded Trump rally. I don't even know how he can get away with that, but let's look. I mean, he's going to do it. He's going to have a rally. He's going to be the main event. But will it have to be renamed? I guess that's what I want to know. So let's look at the garden. The garden stands for events like that, parties, rallies, whatever. So I'm going to use the garden, and I just want to look at how this Trump rally on the 4th will go. I don't know if you saw that orb that just went by. Orbs go by a lot in here, which is really nice. I know I'm not alone. Okay, so let's look at how the Trump rally on the 4th will go. Again, we're looking for the garden. And the way that I pull the cards is actually traditional. It's called the line of 5. So I look for the card that I'm using as my focus card. This will stand for the Trump rally. And then I take the two cards that came before it in the pack, and then I take the two that come after. Okay. So we have the Tower, we have the Child. This is the 4th of July rally, otherwise known as the Trump rally. We have the Scales, and we have the Lily. I mean, the point of it is to honor not the country, but himself. He is just an old, doddering man. I mean, not for nothing. He's about 10 years older than I am. Um, but still, this is the card for somebody who's dementia central. He is really on an island. Everybody grins in his face, but he is increasingly a man alone. I with this child card here, I think it's interesting because I can mirror it with the fourth card with the scales, because of course the garden is in the middle. I don't think it will be as big a thing as he thinks it will be. I also think it will be renamed something more appropriate. I have no problem with him calling the Trump lab. Let's just call it what it is, because that's what it's going to be. He's going to stand up there, or I don't know how long he can stand up, but he's going to be up there in front of everybody for a period of time. But this makes me feel like maybe wiser heads prevail, and for the 250th, we call it something else, like I don't know, whatever rally. I don't know. But I don't think it's going to be anything worth writing home about. It's just going to be another vanity project of his that may be renamed. So I hope that it's renamed. Taxpayer funded, that's problematic. But again, I mean, his hand is deep in our pockets. So there you go. Uh, okay. We know that the E-file investigations are, as I have told you from the beginning, ramping up with everything else that we've got going in the world, including the things that he's manufactured, like a war, inflation, tariffs, and everything else. Um, you know, the E-files march on. And apparently now the Republicans are starting to get a little bit, um, what? A little bit readier than they were before to delve more deeply into this. So Comer, not Comey, because I sometimes will make that mistake, Comer, who is a Republican and the head of the committee investigating the E-files, um, has said that he wants everybody. He wants Blanche to testify, et cetera, but he also wants Alan Dershowitz to testify. Now, we know that Dershowitz is all over the files. If you remember, Alan Dershowitz was the lawyer for O.J. Simpson. He was also the lawyer for Klaus von Bülow. Some of you will not remember that trial. Klaus von Bülow was a rich guy from Rhode Island, and his wife suddenly, her name was Sunny, fell into a coma, like a diabetic coma. And there was a trial around that because the feeling was, or the evidence seemed to suggest that he had something to do with that, with medicating her, so that she fell into this coma. She was in the coma for years, years and years and years, finally passed. But it was a huge case, the Von Bülow case. You could probably find movies about it if you went to, you know, Prime. You could probably still find the movies in the case. But Dershowitz was his defense attorney too. Now, everybody deserves a good defense, right? But Dershowitz um, you know, he keeps appropriate company, I'll just say. In other words, it's no surprise that he is in the files. Uh, he has been apparently socially ostracized on Martha's Vineyard, I think. Is that where he summers and nobody will invite him to anything anymore, and he really thinks that's unfair. Okay, whatever. But he's being asked to testify, and Comer says, "I want him to testify under oath and also on camera. That will be a sight to see." We have a TV and it's a pretty good size, but I have said to myself, I don't know, it might be worth getting like those big screens so I can just see the sweat as it pours out of his pores when Dershowitz has to testify in person, under oath, and on camera. Might be worth that big screen TV. I don't know. So I'm going to use the older man for the significator. This time, for once, it won't be the felon. It will be Alan Dershowitz. What will come of that testimony? Will he testify? What will happen? Um, okay. He has already, I think, been untruthful about his association with Epstein. That's just my opinion. So, allegedly. But, when you're under oath, you're under oath. I wonder if he will say anything of interest. You see that was another orb. All right, let's see. So we're looking for the older man. Okay, so this time it stands for Alan Dershowitz. Hmm, interesting. We have the anchor, we have the scales, we have Alan Dershowitz, we have the tree, and we have the coffin. You know what I think? Hmm. I think he will find a way to get out of testifying. Oh, I'm stuck. I can't testify. I'm an officer of the court and a law-abiding citizen, and I would love to, but gee, I'm stuck. Stuck how? I'm too sick. I think he will claim illness and he will find somebody, some doctor, who will corroborate that. Now, it doesn't necessarily mean he doesn't testify, but it could mean that he doesn't testify in front of the congressional committee in DC. I mean, they can still take his testimony, right, from his bedside, but we may not see it. He will claim illness. I mean, like, say he's sick unto death, can't talk, is unconscious. That's what he will claim. Some kind of way his health will preclude his testifying. Because again, as an officer of the court, he knows he has to tell the truth. He knows what it means to lie under oath, what risks he runs. I don't think he'll testify. I won't buy the big screen TV yet. I'll save that for the impeachment hearings next year. Okay. Uh, Now, also, Gavin Newsom, who is the governor of my state, California, came out with a statement. I saw it on TV, saw him read it. It was a very powerful statement, but basically he was apprising us of the fact that the felon has started an investigation, the DOJ started an investigation of him and of his spouse, who does a lot of work. She's a documentarian and does a lot of charity work for on behalf of women and women in the workplace and that kind of thing. So they are doing things like knocking on doors, talking to neighbors, probably going through their trash, who knows what. So Newsom basically said, I'm not scared of you, and neither is my wife. So go ahead. And again, as a commentator said on TV, it's not to say that there's no there there. There could be some there in terms of people's bookkeeping or whatever. We know that the felon will seek an indictment of the couple, either of Newsom or his wife or both of them, regardless of whether or not there's any there, because that's how he rolls. So what I would like to know is how will the Newsoms fare um, with this legal attack against them? And really, it is, of course, the felon knows that Newsom's probably going to run for president. Not that the felon can. The felon doesn't want to ever leave office, but he certainly doesn't want Newsom to succeed him. Newsom, of course, has trolled him incredibly effectively, really impressively. And the felon's response is always to scare people, to make people afraid, or try to. And I thought that Newsom's message was good. It's worth it. If you can get a look at it, I'm sure you can find it on social media. It was very good, um, very powerful. But I'm going to use the scythe. And the scythe, which can be a card about violence, right? But here it's going to stand for the use of the legal system as a weapon against the Newsoms. So I want to know how that's going to go. In other words, will they be able to get an indictment? And of course, what is that saying in the law? You can indict a ham sandwich. So they'll probably get an indictment, but more to the point, um, what will come of it? What will come of this um, persecution, potential prosecution of the nuisance? So we're going to use the scythe because that will stand for the persecution slash prosecution. Okay. Remember, we're looking for the scythe. Okay, so this stands for Trump's attempt to legally harm the nuisance. Okay, so remember that when I ask the question, I'm the one asking the question, right? And we know that I think that it's a harassment thing, right? So whether the cards are good or bad, essentially you have to say to yourself, well, good for whom, bad for whom, which side? Because I'm the one reading the cards. Um, if I see cards that are positive, it feels like that it's positive for the Newsomes. If I saw cards that were negative, it would be negative for the Newsomes. If you get how I'm explaining this. The way that you ask questions in Lenormand is very important, just like with tarot, right? Like anything, right? If you really want a clear answer, you have to ask a clear question. So we have again the anchor, the ring, the scythe, the book, and the garden. So, it's an attempt to weigh them down. It's money that they have to spend. It's time, it's energy, it's annoyance, it's all of that. I mean, that's the purpose of it. And it will go on and on and on and on, because that's how the felon rolls. If it doesn't work the first time, he'll try it again, right? Like he did with Letitia James and um, other people, Alvin Bragg, etc. So it's just it's a harassment tactic, right? Now, what's very interesting to me, of course, in the center we've got the harassment. What's interesting to me is that the fourth card is the book. I can mirror it with the ring. So it's not, I feel like it's not like they know that they will find something. It's that the instructions from the felon are look, 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 keep looking, keep looking, keep looking, keep looking. I don't know what you're going to find because this is the card for what we don't know. But I'm sure there's something in there, even the grain of something that you can bake into a big loaf of BS. Um, so, I mean, it could very well be that things come out to the public that we didn't know before about the Newsomes. So here we have the scythe, and again, this is this attack by the felon. But look at the clarifiers. We have the coffin, the sun, and the clover. I essentially think that this attack goes nowhere. And then we have these two very nice cards. In fact, they could come out better for having gone through this than not. First of all, it's going to get a lot of sympathy on their side. It frees up Newsom to continue his trolling in an even grander manner. Everybody will see this for what it is. It's just a way for the felon to attack someone who has proved to be a worthy adversary. And I think in the end, it could accrue to the benefit of Newsom, the Newsomes, and probably Newsom's campaign. Okay, here we go with the book, Things We Don't Know. Here is the couple, Mrs. Newsom, Governor Newsom. And then we have the young woman card. Always, always the Epstein stuff is around. Um, uh, Newsom has trolled the felon about the Epstein stuff, but also, if you think about yin and yang in the Chinese way of looking at things, and remember that this card system, obviously, it's not Asian, it's not Chinese, but it was created in a certain historical context, which is to say the late 1700s, early 1800s, which means that the language, some of the verbiage around the cards feels sexist a little bit. And so I like to use the yin and yang idea because it feels as though whatever they think they're going to find out, whatever the felon thinks he's going to find out, it will be yin as opposed to yang, meaning it won't be anything that he can get his teeth into. It'll be something that just sort of slides off. It's not anything worth anything, especially not compared to the felon and his misdeeds. The fifth card in our original line is the garden. So this is the public. Clarifiers are the snake, the tower, and the key. Um, which is an interesting, I don't know, almost like a little plot twist. So if this is the public, obviously the point of the exercise, as far as the felon is concerned, is to create trouble for the felon. This is the card of trouble. There's no other way to interpret it in this reading. And to use the uh, the vehicles, the vehicle of government to cause the trouble, and to say that they found some impropriety, whether they did or whether they didn't. So it could be that they find something, make a bigger thing out of it than it really is, right? Like the whole housing thing with Letitia James. But I don't see this as, in the end, hurting the Newsomes. In fact, if anything, it gives them more street cred for having survived the bully. So we'll see. This has only just been announced. We will see. Put nothing past the felon. Uh, and I mean, I guess one could say that everybody's closet has skeletons. I just don't think that these skeletons, whatever they find, have any meat on their bones. How do you like that? That's a pretty good analogy. Okay, or metaphor. Um, so that's that. Two more things. Oh, well, maybe three. I don't know. So Todd Blanche is the named the nominee, right, for the permanent position of Attorney General, and everybody is saying that they want to hear from him some honest answers. And he's very slippery. Remember that he was the felon's attorney before he went into government with him. I just want to know how his confirmation will go because I don't think it's guaranteed. There are a couple of Republicans who are side-eyeing Blanche, and that's good for our side. How will his confirmation go? And I'm just going to use the older man card for him. He's not that old, but it's okay. I just feel like using the older man card for him. How will his confirmation go? This is Todd Blanche. Moon, star, Blanche, key, fish. He will get confirmed. And um, I think, money is God in this country, right? And I think the right money will cross the right palms, and I think he will be confirmed. This is the card for, you know, that particular career move. Um, People will feel all kinds of ways about it, but this is also the card, not just for emotion, it's the card for money. But when I have the star here, which is hope, the future, etc., and the key, I think he gets confirmed. I think a fight will be put up, certainly by the Democrats, and kind of in a fake UFC way, uh, by some Republicans. but I think he'll be confirmed. Whatever. Okay. Uh, the felon. I guess he has taken off for France after his birthday bash. Get it? Bash. Because he's meant to attend the G7 conference, which is the economic um, conference of seven countries. We are one of them. And I just want to know how that will go for him. How will the G7 go for him? And so, because it's a meeting, the card that I would use to represent it is the birds. Birds is the card for talking, meeting, gossiping, all of that. Of course, there will be a ton of gossip about him among the member nations in their constituencies or their contingents of people that they bring. But let's just see, how will the G7 go for him? I mean, he fell asleep at the fight last night. I don't know if you saw that picture, but he had a smile on his face while he slept. Okay, what did I say? Oh, birds. Okay. Okay, this is the G7. Okay, we have the tower, the young woman, birds, which stands for the G7 conference, clouds, and the ship. So, of course, once he gets there, he will feel isolated and alone, and also disempowered because many of the nations of the world have decided to, create allyships with each other and kind of leave us off to the side. So he will feel like, you know, his dance card is not going to be filled, put it that way. Nobody's going to want to be near him for the smell reason, but for other reasons as well. He will be a pariah. He's been weakened. Um, the birds is in the middle. That stands for the conference. Clouds. Again, he's weakened and he's also befuddled. Clouds is about being befuddled, confused, sleepy, not knowing what's going on. The ship, of course, is the travel piece of it. Um, so I pulled cards on the birds, and the cards are the tree, a heart, and the bouquet. Hmm. Uh, so here he is at the event, the conference. He may very well have some heart issues. I mean, that's a gift to us. I'm not sure that it is for him, but I don't think he will feel well on this trip. Again, this is the card of befuddlement. He will swing the mushroom around because that's what he does. Uh, Probably at women who are there. He will be aggressive and not nice. And he will seem as old and doddering as he is. Remember, these two cards together speak of dementia. This is the card for an old man, like a grandpa type. And this is also mental confusion. So, yeah. Um, Remember that time when he pushed the ambassador to Montenegro out of the way so that he could get to the front of the picture? I could see him being aggressive like that around women. But anyway, here's the trip. I think the travel will be hard on him physically, and that will be very clear in public. Like we know he can't walk a straight line. He walked a straight line last night, I noticed, when he went to the arena, but that's because there was a building on one side of him, and then there was that guy walking, to his right and a little bit behind him. So he had a frame of reference for how to stay in the center. But he's just not well. He will probably be weaving all over the place, probably not make any sense, probably fall asleep when he's asked a question. It'll be really obvious that the jet lag and the whole bit, it'll be obvious to the public. And I think that the trip will be cut short. It's a short trip already, by the way. It's from the 15th, which for him is a travel day, so he's going to miss part of the events today. Uh, and then it's only till the 17th. But I do think he will leave early because he's not feeling well. So, but he'll be back. I don't see him not coming back. Supposedly, this is the final one. Supposedly, we have reached an accord with Iran where Iran gets billions and billions of dollars to rebuild the damage, the infrastructural damage that we did by bombing them. And there's no guarantee that they don't maintain control over the Strait of Hormuz. So basically, we come away with nothing, less than nothing, because we now will owe them billions of dollars. And they have their stock has risen in the world because basically, I mean, it's like Vietnam, we lost. So let's see, will that peace accord hold? Nobody, that's the other thing. Nobody has seen it. So we don't know the terms, but we suspect that those are the terms, that Iran gets everything and we come away with not even what we started out with in the beginning, not even with what Obama got us in the agreement in the beginning. So because they have said, oh, I'm throwing the cards all over the place. I think I just, yeah, hold on. Um, um, what was I going to say about this agreement? Hold on, it was something important. Um, I can't remember. I know I said the word Obama, but then I can't remember what I was going to say because I won the cards. Um, so anyway, we've heard a little bit about it, but nobody has seen the agreement. Oh, I know what it was. I know what it was. It wasn't about Obama. It was about the fact that Iran has said, well, I mean, the whole idea of whether or not we um, uh, have a nuke, well, that's still open to discussion as to whether or not we can develop a nuclear weapon. What? So wait, why is there an accord again? Why is there a peace accord? Wasn't that the whole point? So I'm going to use the letter that will stand for this elusive accord that nobody has seen. Um, is it going to be one of those ones where, we wake up tomorrow and it's off the table again? Could be. All right, let's see. We're using the letter, and this will be the last question. Okay, so this is the supposed latest agreement with Iran. Clover, house, letter, box, woman. Here's the thing. It was thrown together because the felon, come hell or high water between his birthday and the 4th of July, wants an agreement. So it was thrown together, as so much of what he does is, right? Here's the agreement in the middle. This is the adversary. So this would be Iran. And again, we have this woman here. I feel like we come out the weaker of the two parties. This is not an accord where both sides come away feeling like they got something out of the deal. I don't think so. So when we look at the actual accord, which is the letter, fish, yuck, that's money. Because this old addled man said, I don't care what it costs, give him the billions of dollars. I just want to be able to say I made peace so that the Nobel Committee will give me a prize. That's what I think. Uh, and here they are, Iran. Clarifiers are anchor, tree, and bouquet. Iran has not really essentially moved off of any of their positions, especially not the nuclear one. And they're feeling pretty good because they feel like they won. This is the card for winning. They got the prize. Again, we got played by our own government, let me just say. And our allies, the dog, are thinking, oh my God, you all, America, do your own thing because we don't know what you're all about. We are really on an island alone in the clouds. So whether the thing even holds up or not is questionable. Why? Because I can mirror it with the clover. It was so hastily thrown together. He just wants an agreement signed, sealed, and delivered between his birthday and the 4th. And there's what, 2 weeks left? So, yeah, expect this one to fall apart too. And if it goes through, consider that we will have been bested by Iran. And on that happy note, I will bid you a good evening. Do go back and listen to the recording with Sheila that I did yesterday. I think you'll really like it. And I will be on Substack tomorrow, uh, writing my article. I might go over there and do some. I might do some readings. Um, so if you're not already subscribe to my Substack. Just go to substack.com, look for either my name or In the Company of Cards, hit the subscribe button. It's free to subscribe. Um, it's free to subscribe, but I think the videos might require, I think that's behind a paywall. So if you want to come, subscribe for a month, um, for like $5 and then dip out. You can do that too. But I think I'm going to do some readings over there probably tomorrow, in addition to whatever it is that I write. But so go over there and look for that. And I will be back here Wednesday with my friend Lena from Lena Down Under, our Australian friend. And so I'll see you here again on Wednesday evening. All right. Have a great Monday. Take care.